Now, see how AI is being used to understand IQ and EQ in a number of ways, other than traditional test-based methods. Here are a few examples.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see the details of IQ first. IQ stands for Intelligence Quotient. It is a score derived from a set of standardized tests or subtests designed to assess human intelligence. IQ tests are designed to measure a person's cognitive abilities, such as their ability to solve problems, think abstractly, and learn new information. IQ tests are typically administered by a trained psychologist. The tests are timed and involve a variety of tasks, such as verbal reasoning. This type of task tests a person's ability to understand and use language. Numerical reasoning. This type of task tests a person's ability to solve mathematical problems. Visual reasoning. This type of task tests a person's ability to see patterns and relationships. Working memory. This type of task tests a person's ability to hold information in mind and manipulate it. Processing speed. This type of task tests a person's ability to quickly and accurately process information. The scores from IQ tests are typically standardized so that the average score is 100. This means that 50% of the population will score between 90 and 110, 25% will score lower than 90, and 25% will score higher than 110. IQ tests are not without their critics. Some people argue that IQ tests are biased against certain groups of people, such as those from minority groups or those with disabilities. Others argue that IQ tests only measure a narrow range of cognitive abilities and do not fully capture a person's intelligence. Despite these criticisms, IQ tests are still widely used in a variety of settings, such as schools, businesses, and the military. They can be helpful in identifying gifted children, making admissions decisions, and selecting employees. Here are some additional things to know about IQ. IQ tests are not perfect, but they are the best tool we have for measuring intelligence. IQ scores are relatively stable throughout a person's lifetime. IQ scores are only one measure of intelligence. Other factors, such as motivation, creativity, and emotional intelligence, are also important. It is important to remember that IQ is not a measure of a person's worth. There are many different types of intelligence, and everyone has something to offer. And now EQ. EQ stands for Emotional Quotient. It is a measure of a person's ability to understand, use, and manage their own emotions in positive ways. EQ is often considered to be just as important as IQ when it comes to success in life. There are many different models of EQ, but they all share some common elements. These elements include self-awareness, the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions. Self-management, the ability to control your emotions and behavior in a way that is constructive and productive. Motivation, the ability to set goals and work towards them, even in the face of challenges. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the emotions of others. Social skills, the ability to build and maintain relationships, and to communicate effectively with others. People with high EQ are typically better at managing stress and conflict, building strong relationships, solving problems effectively, making sound decisions, adapting to change, leading and motivating others. There are a number of things you can do to improve your EQ, such as practice mindfulness, learn to identify and label your emotions, develop healthy coping mechanisms for dealing with stress, be more open and honest with your emotions, practice active listening, be more aware of the emotions of others, build strong relationships with supportive people. EQ is a lifelong skill that can be learned and improved. By taking steps to improve your EQ, you can increase your chances of success in all areas of your life. Here are some additional things to know about EQ. EQ is not the same as IQ. IQ is a measure of cognitive abilities, while EQ is a measure of emotional abilities. EQ is more important than IQ for success in life. Studies have shown that EQ is a better predictor of job performance, leadership skills, and relationship satisfaction than IQ. EQ can be learned and improved. There are many different programs and resources available to help you improve your EQ. It is important to remember that everyone has different levels of EQ. There is no one right level of EQ. What matters is that you are constantly working to improve your EQ. So, which is more important, IQ or EQ? There is no easy answer to this question. Both IQ and EQ are important for success in different areas of life. IQ is more important for academic success, while EQ is more important for job performance and overall well-being. Ultimately, the most important thing is to have a balance of both IQ and EQ. People with high IQ and high EQ are typically more successful in all areas of life. If you are looking to improve your IQ or EQ, there are a number of things you can do. For IQ, you can take IQ tests and practice problem solving in critical thinking skills. For EQ, you can practice mindfulness, learn to identify and label your emotions and develop healthy coping mechanisms for dealing with stress. It is also important to remember that IQ and EQ are not the only things that matter for success. Hard work, determination, and a positive attitude are also important factors. Now, see how AI is being used to understand IQ and EQ in a number of ways, other than traditional test-based methods. Here are a few examples. Analyzing social media data. AI can be used to analyze a person's social media posts and interactions to gain insights into their emotional intelligence. For example, AI can be used to identify patterns in a person's language use that suggest high or low EQ, such as the use of positive or negative words, or the use of emotional language. Tracking physiological data. AI can be used to track a person's physiological data, such as their heart rate, breathing, and facial expressions, to gain insights into their emotional state. This data can be used to identify patterns in a person's emotional responses to different stimuli, which can be used to assess their EQ. Analyzing brain activity. AI can be used to analyze brain activity using electroencephalography, EEG, or functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, to gain insights into a person's cognitive abilities. This data can be used to assess a person's IQ, as well as their ability to control their emotions. Using virtual reality, VR can be used to create realistic simulations that can be used to assess a person's cognitive and emotional abilities. For example, VR can be used to create a simulation of a job interview or a social interaction, and AI can be used to analyze the person's performance in the simulation to assess their IQ and EQ. These are just a few examples of how AI is being used to understand IQ and EQ in a way that goes beyond traditional test-based methods. As AI technology continues to develop, it is likely that we will see even more innovative ways to use AI to assess human intelligence and emotional abilities. It is important to note that AI is not a perfect tool for assessing IQ and EQ. AI models are trained on data, and the quality of the data will impact the accuracy of the model. Additionally, AI models are only as good as the algorithms that they are based on. As AI technology continues to develop, it is likely that AI models will become more accurate and reliable, but they will never be perfect. It is also important to note that IQ and EQ are not the only factors that contribute to success in life. Hard work, determination, and a positive attitude are also important factors. AI can be a valuable tool for understanding IQ and EQ, but it is important to remember that it is just one piece of the puzzle.